Well, howdy folks. Doc Finley here, proud TG member still. Here to cover close quarter infiltrator weapons. Now, the three weapons that most people say for close quarter infiltrator happen to be the AF-4 Cyclone, the Blitz GD-10, and the AF-18 Stalker. Now, I'm just going to say the AF-18 Stalker is not recommended for anything other than mid-range, which is not what close quarter stands for. So you see, it's already expanded quite far. You shoot, it expands more. It's just an awful weapon for close quarters. So I'm just not even going to cover it, really. So moving on to the AF-4 and the GD-10. Now if I compare stats, you can see considerable differences. Yes, the Blitz does shoot quicker than the Cyclone, but it doesn't shoot as hard. Now, I sit at work. This may sound lame or dumb, but I sit at work and I get bored. Being a medic's not all that eventful all the time. So I'll sit there, I'll do math, I'll start thinking about things, about different games and stuff, and PlanetSide 2 comes into game. So I'll sit there and I'll do math on weapons. So basic math right here is the AF-4 Cyclone with 167 damage and only 25 round mag compared to the 125 damage to a 50 round mag, you'd think AF-4 Cyclone shoots more damage. It does at 25 rounds. If the Blitz only shot 25 rounds, I'd go Cyclone hands down. But it doesn't. At 25 rounds, the Cyclone shoots 4,125 damage. The Blitz at 25 rounds shoots 3,125 damage. Yeah, 25 rounds. But by the time the Cyclone shot 25 rounds, the Blitz has shot more. Now, I'm not trying to say the Cyclone is an awful weapon. I use it, I love it. But the Blitz, by the time it shot all 50 rounds, assuming it's hit its target, with every round, has shot 6,150 damage. That's enough to take out 6 targets. Because if you think about it, standard infantry have 500 armor, 500 health. That's 1,000. Now, with Nano Weave armor, you get a max of 750 health, 500 armor. So, it's really shooter's preference. Now, if you'll notice, reload is slower with the Blitz due to bigger magazine than the Cyclone, so it lets you reload quicker. Accuracy is identical across the board. There is no difference about it, other than these last numbers. Now, what do these last numbers mean? I'll have them posted on forums so you can get a complete representation of what everything on these stats mean. But the last number is bloom per shot, meaning every time you shoot a round, that number blooms out that much. So let me show you. I'll use the Cyclone, resupply it. Alright, now you see the reticles. They increase when I walk, when I run, they decrease when I crouch and all that, stand still. When it shoots, it blooms out on its own. What that means is every time I shoot, it's blooming out. Every bullet blooms it out a little bit further, that keeps going. So, the Cyclone blooms out more, but with the way the Blitz fires, it shoots so many rounds so quick that its bloom hits so early. Each round hits quicker and quicker, meaning the bloom pretty much comes out and ends up quite far. So you just kind of burst fire it, you shoot real quick, real long bursts. Kind of like this. But if you're close on them, you can just open up and lay waste. Just lay some scunion. So, that's enough on weapons. Now to cover attachments. They all, across the board, Blitz and Cyclone have the exact same attachments, other than rail, which I don't understand why extended mag is on rail for the Cyclone, but that's just how the devs did it. So, soft point ammo, to clear some things up, does not increase damage. It doesn't. It lets you shoot a little bit further, without your bullet damage dropping. So say I shoot 125 meters, or 125 damage, pardon me, at 10 meters. That means with soft point ammo, at 15 meters, I'll still shoot that much without my bullet dropping on damage. Basically being said, in layman's terms, I can shoot further without my bullet dropping so bad. But when it gets further out, it drops pretty hard. So, moving on to rails. The flashlight. It's just a decoration. Now, I've only been playing for 2.5, maybe 3 months. It looks cool, but it makes things bright, but unlike Battlefield 3, it doesn't blind your opponents. Now, before I started playing, I heard rumors that it used to be really, really dark to where you needed it. So that's understandable, but now you don't need it. So let's cover foregrip. Obvious enough what it does, so I won't cover too much on it. It makes horizontal accuracy better when, well, pretty much any time. The laser sight and advanced laser sight, now that, obvious, makes hipfire accurate. I can give you the numbers if you want them. You know, it's up to you if you want them. I'll post them anyway. But on to barrels. The compensator, obvious know what it does. Makes you show up on the map, but reduces vertical recoil. Now, some machine guns shoot at such a sustained rate of fire that it pretty much neglects that vertical recoil being reduced. Flash suppressor makes it more inaccurate. Some machine guns are pretty awful with accuracy already. They need it all they can get, so that's pretty useless. Suppressor reduces range at, effectiveness at range. There's times you can use it and times you may need it, but you need all the effectiveness you can get, so I wouldn't really use it. Now on to sights, optics. These top four, if you use it, it's just asinine. I don't see why you would. Now, the reflexor, the GD reflexor, lets you see pretty far. Well, a few times in fact. So it's pretty good for, close quarters. The Techlight reflex, on the other hand, doesn't increase optics that much. It keeps it at the iron sight zoom of 1.35. It just makes it to where the iron sights where they were in your way are no longer in your way. You have a bigger view. So I use the HSNV scope. I'm an advocate of it. Now, you see why is, yeah, maybe you can't see as far. You can't see that ridge that's 100 meters out, but I don't run around like this. This is not how I go everywhere. I run, then I acquire target, then I scope in. Max range on this is 55 meters. That's roughly where your submachine gun quits firing so effectively. So, it's pretty good. I like it. But, it's pretty much everything to cover on the weapons. So, I'm going to end it with this. And, again, this is Doc Finley, proud TG member. I hope to see you all in the battlefield. And let's just make people go boom.